Hello, hello. Welcome to Wednesday, Hump Day, live stream, reaction live stream. Boy, the audio was weird. Little inside baseball here. This is actually a restarted stream. As the intro's going, I'm just confirming everything is going in order and, everything's working and things are shifting around. And one of the last things I check is the audio. And I look over at the audio and there is no movement. And the music's playing in my AirPods, but I look over and it's just nothing. And I'm like, I think I should restart or, something else is going to go wrong. Maybe the videos don't even have sound. Like, that would just be tragedy. So this is a restarted stream. Hope you're all having a wonderful start to your Wednesday. If you're watching this on YouTube a little later, hope your Wednesday's going well. You have a good night, good evening, good morning, whenever you watch it. These usually go up around, hey, what's going on? Welcome back. These usually go up around, I don't know, mid-afternoon, somewhere around there for me. Obviously, it's a little later for some of you as well. Luke, I know it's a little later for you, but hope you find them when you find them. Actually, I wonder, this would be a nice little morning. So it's almost like I record in the morning and then you watch it the morning after, in a way. That's kind of interesting. So just a program note, I will not be here next week. I'll find something to upload on the channel. It'll be interesting. Maybe it's something you haven't seen before. Maybe it's been buried on this channel for a long time. Contemplated doing a little vlog here and there, but we'll see. I'm not much of a vlogger, okay? That the idea of it kind of makes me nervous. I did now if you're not aware, let me bring that up. If you're not aware, I do have a new YouTube gaming channel, Todd Reacts Plays. I've been streaming on Twitch for my gaming streams just for, to cut out a time of the week where I can actually do some gaming. Because I love video games. I've been playing them pretty much my entire life, ever since the original Nintendo. And this kind of carves out a little bit of a window per week that I can enjoy and kind of go back into my childhood. But so I started this channel 2 weeks ago now, and we've been working on Life is Strange, as you all voted on. Episode 3 will be in a couple weeks. So since I'm not going to be there for a couple Saturdays, I'm like, you know what? Let me go on yesterday. And I played Fortnite for about 3.5 hours. So if you want to check that out, go ahead and check it out. I do have the game chat working and the party chat working through this obnoxiously long cable, this chat link cable, which is just so heavy when you're holding the controller, but it is what it is. But now you can actually hear the people I'm playing with, randoms, people in the party, etc. I actually found a pretty cool party yesterday just through randoms. We ended up winning a decent amount. So it was kind of interesting, definitely fun. Go ahead and check it out. Subscribe to that channel if you would like gaming content. I try to keep it off this channel because this channel is not exactly a gaming channel. Go ahead and sign up for a membership tier on toddreacts.com if you're looking to have your own videos or you want some videos for me to react to and for us to all enjoy. Go ahead and do that. And also on toddreacts.com, we got the winter collection of merch, which is going to be gone June 1st. And then we shift into the summer collection, a little lighter fabric. It's definitely not as heavy as this heavyweight hoodie. Great quality, ships worldwide. Website members save 15% off every order. Go ahead and check it out. And follow the Twitch channel if you're watching on Twitch. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube. Eventually, these will be both on YouTube and Twitch live streamed, but I'm just waiting until I catch up on requests, and then I will set a formal schedule for all of you to know, and then we'll move forward. And then you can watch live on YouTube. And I think, I always forget to say this. Join the Discord. There's about 50 of us in there now. It's growing. It's available to the public. The links are everywhere. It's in the description. It's on the YouTube channel page. It's on the Twitch page. It's everywhere. It's on the website even. As you can see it right at the top here. I'm highlighting it white. It's right next to the X, right next to the Twitch logo in the top right. And yeah, we got a good selection of edits today. We got Grey's Anatomy. We got Shameless. We got Bridgerton. We got Teen Wolf. It's been a while for Teen Wolf. And The Passage, which I've never heard of at all. So that'll be interesting. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Thank you, Luke, for posting the website. Let me just make sure I haven't missed anything. Stream last night was almost around 11 p.m. Whoa. Whoa. Good grief. Yeah, that's late. That is late. A Bridgerton edit that surprisingly wasn't submitted by me. Yes. We will get to those. We will get to those for sure. Let's go ahead and bring up the first video. And that is Jackson and April Find My Way Back. I think this is season 17, episode 14 of Grey's Anatomy. We've done a couple Jackson and April videos at this point. So interesting if it brings anything new to the table. I did bring up an article ranking the romances in Grey's Anatomy, which could be kind of interesting. And Luke sent a bunch of links for today's stream. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah. Right. Okay. Let's go ahead and jump in. Appreciate it.
Why is our timing always
The audio's
so terrible?
working?
I am
Excellent.
Grieving. I'm grieving what we both lost. The bad timing.
I thought that was kind of our thing, bad timing.
Let him get to know you better.
Matthew got on one knee and proposed to you.
It's too late.
Stood there, watched another man become your husband.
Once he does, he's gonna want to follow you anywhere. She's married. She's happy with someone else.
What I've actually never done.
You said that you were happy for her. You said that a lot of times.
I am happy for her. I would never do anything to take that away from her.
Is stand in the way of the happiness that you chose for yourself. I had your back that day and every day since. And
We split up.
running the foundation means I gotta move to Boston. Which means I really need you. I would never leave Harriet. I feel sick, by the way. To leave here. I could never, ever leave Harriet. To leave you.
I need this.
I need this.
You didn't always have my back. Come with me.
Come with me. Okay, my wife's on that flight. I just need to get to my wife.
You left me alone. I went alone.
Bro, that's not fair. April! So I'm the only one that's walked away when I've having a hard time? Just me, huh?
You left me.
You ran away from me.
You ran halfway across the world. How
I
could
was dying, Jackson. Hey,
And Samuel, and the pain and the grief.
I took care of myself so that I would survive.
You had to do what you had to do to survive.
I am married to a brilliant, gorgeous trauma surgeon.
You were a brilliant surgeon because I knew you could do it. You gave a little boy back his hands.
We did it.
Bridgerton is spreading.
I am so proud that you're my wife.
You are a good father. You took us both in.
There she is. There
You two are staying.
You took care of her when I couldn't, and you haven't stopped taking care of either of us since.
Hey, throw pillows.
I really do.
Yeah.
Pillows in every room. I love makes you do crazy things.
So you really want this? We will make Boston work.
All right, I don't want a date. April, I want the whole damn thing.
I'm saying yes.
Wait, you're saying yes?
Yes.
To my question, you're saying
I'm
yes.
saying yes. I thought that's what you wanted.
Yes, it is.
I want this.
Yes, it is.
We'll get married, have an awesome kid, be amazing parents.
You're gonna be a great daddy. We can do this.
This cuts out all the roller
That
coasters.
worked out pretty well.
Mommy,
so stubborn. Which I would say comes from her mother, but I think we both know.
50-50
Right down the
split.
middle.
Right.
Fingers crossed for New Horizon.
Fingers crossed for New Horizons.
Wow. That was so radically different than the other edits of Jackson and April. It seems like, on that one, it seems like a really fairy tale romance. Beautiful, smooth, easy, just completely wipes away all the nonsense. Wow, that is, if I had saw that first and then I saw the other ones, I would have been like, what happened? What happened? But now I'm just like, oh, this puts quite the sheen on it, doesn't it? Link down below in the YouTube description for the original edit. Go throw it some love. It is a wonderful edit. Beautiful. Now, is it an accurate edit? Well, I guess if you're looking for the ideal, it is. Life isn't perfect, of course. Nothing is perfect. I can just imagine their fans losing their minds every time they split. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. But, you know, when you're invested in a relationship between characters, or you're really invested in a single character or whatever, anything negative that happens to them is just going to be brutal. Just rip your heart out. I mean, the biggest rip your heart out moment that I can think of for me was that Red Wedding where everybody died in Game of Thrones. I was just like, oh. Then again, I'm the same, hence my edits, right? Nobody was really prepared for that Red Wedding. Unfortunately, by the time I saw that, everyone had talked about the Red Wedding, you know? Nobody got into super specific details, like I had no idea what was going to happen, but I knew it was a big moment, so it kind of took away that moment for me. I guess the only real way to experience that would have been as it was happening. And people didn't point to that one episode. But yeah, that was a beautiful rendition of their relationship. Obviously, with greater context, you realize, wow, you know, Love on the Rocks. It's got a lot of ups and downs, a lot of issues, but, you know, maybe, I guess, right now they're together in Boston, so there's something. So maybe this is just highlighting all the highlights that led to them being together in Boston. So, yeah, they had a lot of turmoil and, you know, divorce and all that stuff. But obviously these positive moments were enough to bring them together. So obviously that's worth highlighting, right? If they were big enough or important enough to keep them together, even through all that, definitely makes sense there's an edit. I didn't know what to expect at the title Red Wedding. I guess I just saw a wedding and hope for the best. Yeah. All right, let's bring up... I found this right before stream, where Jackson and April rank among Grey's Anatomy's most epic romances. And Japril is apparently their what they're known as. Season 18 finale of Grey's Anatomy was filled with enough drama and upheaval to make even the best surgeon's head spin. Let me move this window over here. That way it's not so far away. I feel like I'm reading a mile away. There we go. But it left fans with at least one lasting piece of good news. Jackson and April have rekindled their romance. And because of this reunion, Japril were qualified to be nominated in the favorite couple category of the 2022 TV Scoop Awards. And apparently the audience can vote. So how did the big reunion play out? We knew that Jackson and April would be returning for the big episode, but we didn't know the state of the relationship. When we last saw Japril of season 17, they had moved to Boston so Jackson could run the Catherine Fox Foundation, and April could be close to their daughter, though they remained separated. After Jackson returned in an attempt to save the Gray Sloan Memorial Hospital's teaching program, he and April shared an elevator kiss, in the finale's fleeting moments. And we finally got the answer. We believe in love again! Despite, oh God. If that doesn't put a point on the roller coaster of this relationship, I don't know what is. Despite our sheer relief that Jackson and April have made it work in Beantown, it's best, that's Boston's nickname, by the way. It's best not to get too excited about seeing them around moving forward, at least not full-time. It definitely leaves open the possibility that you might be checking in with them, Sarah told Deadline. After the script was released, I had texts flying in from cast and crew asking if I was coming back next year because of how the episode ends, but as of now, that is not on the table. We'll take what we can get. Let's see here. Whether we see them again or not, we're just happy with the knowledge that Jackson and April are out there enjoying clam chowder together, and whatever else people do in Boston. April forever. Meredith in the stand herself. That is a funny part of that. That's funny. Oh my gosh. I love how they didn't actually relate them to the actual romances. So the article is like, where they rank? And it's like, not ranked. Huh. That's weird. What a weird way to write a article. All right, let me bring up that original one. Elevator kiss. That is very, very cliche, but it's also pretty beautiful as well. Boom. All right, so this, I think, goes to season 17, if I'm not mistaken. Let's look at the end here. Sorry if you get motion sickness. We're scrolling fast. Yeah, season 17. Okay, so that video was based on episode 14. This is episode 15 through season 18. Okay. With Sarah Drew no longer on Grey's Anatomy, the writers did have a difficult time keeping Jackson and April's love story alive since William's character was still one of Grey's Anatomy's mainstay. So naturally, it made sense for him to date other people. So he left the show. However, they eventually managed to find a way for the couple to rekindle their romance. Oh, so it's like a guest spot. It was just coming on just so they could lock up that story and tell people, all right, they're together in Boston with the kid. There you go. By season 18, episode 19, Out for Blood, Jackson and April were back together. It may have taken a while, but it was worth the wait. I think she left first. Boy, that's kind of... I get it, though. I'm assuming if you're an actor, you get offers as you're on a show, and you go by who pays you the most money, what's the best opportunity, what's going to give you more name recognition eventually, you know. I'm assuming if you're on Grey's Anatomy, you're making a pretty decent amount of money as a main character or even as a side character after 20 some odd seasons. And if you're still there, still in the storyline, an important part of the storyline and one of the most treasured romantic couples. But if you get an offer for like a Netflix show and you're like the main person, or you get an offer for obviously being in a movie, you're going to take it. You're definitely going to take it. So it's probably very difficult to hold on to people unless you are raising their salary every year by a decent amount. Also, long-running shows, especially if you've been there for so long, sometimes actors feel there's no further storyline and pass on. Yeah. They pretty much, I'm assuming it's very much like any job where you're like, all right, I've learned everything I can learn here, or I've given everything I can give here. There's no real reason for me to stay on here. I mean, I want something else. I want something fresh, something new. Obviously, as a fan, we hate that idea, especially if we get used to them and we're engaged in their storyline. But I'm assuming after a while, they get a little bored with it. Like Supernatural. Yeah. Season 1, they left to give up. Yeah, right. Plus, I'm assuming if you're in like a smash hit in that first season, your agent's gonna get so many offers for you. Maybe not in bigger roles, but different roles. So you don't want to be typecasted, of course. That's something that actors probably fight against a lot, especially if they're in something huge or some like cult following. You can just get typecasted like crazy. And people won't even think to put you in things. They'll just be like, oh, no, that person plays that kind of role. When in reality, you might be the best actor for that character, that role. You might not even be thought of. Wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you can go into a movie, you might be pretty well off. Plus, it's just different, you know? You want to get experience in everything. Probably theater, movies, TV. That way you can really round out your profile. That way you can show people, look, I've been in this. I've been in this thing like that. I've done that. I've done live theater. I've done, a TV show for a couple seasons. I've done a movie. And, of course, it's always word of mouth, right? Directors talk, producers talk, other actors talk. That's why they never really criticize each other, because they know it can come back to bite them in the butt. You want, just like, working professionally, you want references. You want people that will stick up for you. You want positive opinions about you. Oh, I am so interested to see who's going to play James Bond. Oh, no. I have that 25-minute rant on this channel, on the Todd Reacts YouTube channel, about my opinions of the most recent Bond film. Yikes. Not exactly excited for the future, but we'll see. I read somewhere somebody was like, Henry Cavill might be a decent Bond, and I was thinking about it, and I'm like, yeah, if he lost like a ton of weight, but was still, in shape. Like maybe that could work. For the 2 seconds that he was in Argyle as a spy, he was pretty good. What a bait and switch that movie was. Oh my gosh. I am still kind of sour on that. They made it seem like he was like the star of that movie in those previews. And then he was in it for maybe 10 seconds. He was in it for, 5 to 10 minutes of screen time. I was just like, what? I read so many angry comments on that movie. It's crazy. All right. Let's go ahead and swat. What's next? Shameless. Shameless is next. Video 2. Cillian Murphy. Ooh. I think Idris said he was too old or something. I remember a quote from him like maybe a couple years ago or 10 years ago he'd think about it, but I think from him himself he said he was too old. Have you seen The Man from U.N.C.L.E.? I have, yes. Quite a few years ago. He was good in that too. Obviously, that role was more like physical. Very much more of a Daniel Craig kind of Bond, if you will. There's a list of candidates available? Or is this just people's opinions on who should be a candidate? Oh, Vogue. Gotcha. It's going to be interesting. I don't know exactly what direction they're going to take Bond. Just from the leaks and rumors I've heard. I don't know. Seems like they're trying to get away from the old Bond, which I'm not a fan of. Some things should not be adopted. Some things should not be... it should be based off the book. I just don't get it. Put it in the mod chat. Okay, let me bring that up. I am interested to hear people's opinions on that. All right, let's do it. And then we'll hop into video 2. This is just a little side tangent. Okay, Vogue, get out of here. Possible contenders: Aaron Taylor Johnson. Whoa, that was the Kick-Ass guy? He has aged like crazy. How old is that movie? Oh my gosh. That's crazy. He was like a kid. He was like a teen in that movie. It's so funny when you don't see an actor for a while and then you see him again. You're just like, whoa, what happened? Oh, yeah, age. I've also aged. Let's see. How do you say his name? Rej? Rejay? Let's see. He said of the rumors, it's like a merit badge. I'm glad to have the badge. Glad to be in such wonderful company of people who have the badge, but it's a badge. Okay. Reggae? Okay. Who else? Who else? Theo James. Oh, yeah. What was he in? Divergent. Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Damson? South Londoner. 32-year-old. Oh, this is the guy from Crazy Rich Asians, right? Henry Golding. No, I've seen him in a Netflix movie. What the heck was that movie called? It was like a Christmas romance. Lashana Lynch. Yeah. I am vehemently against that. You got to keep 007 going. There's no reason to watch any other character in that quote-unquote universe. You got to keep 007. Or at least James Bond, the character. Again, the fact that they killed James Bond in that latest movie just irritates the ever-loving hell out of me. Oh, God. I get mad just thinking about it. As a movie on itself, if that wasn't a James Bond movie, that would be a fantastic movie. Stunning movie. But the fact that it's that character just really drove me up a wall. Hence why I posted a rant of like 25 minutes. I had to cut 30 minutes of me like swearing at the camera out of that video. It was brutal. I literally just turned on the camera and just started yelling. No, she wouldn't be James Bond. But I think, what's the point of watching it if it's not James Bond? The whole point of watching that series or that franchise is because of James Bond. If they just introduce another character and say, go, I'm going to be like, and I'm not interested. Sam, Idris. Yeah, I think he said he was too old or something, like of himself. I can't remember what that quote was. Jack Loudon. Or Loden, excuse me. It's probably Loden. Not even going to attempt it. I am going to butcher the ever-loving hell out of that. Paul Mescal or Mescal. Omar. Tom Hardy. How old is Tom Hardy? I don't know. Yeah, he could still do it, I think. Jeanette Bond or Jamie Bond. Oh my God. James Bond's sister. It's like, come on. Nobody's going to watch that. And when I say nobody, I mean nobody in mass. Obviously, people would watch that. Oh, come on. No. Nope. I know he's got a big following. I like Tom Holland, but the dude is too short. Too short. Richard Madden. James Bond is not a short king. I'm sorry to say. Although I think Pierce Brosnan was kind of short, wasn't he? How tall is Pierce Brosnan? I'm pretty sure Pierce Brosnan had like platform heels on when he filmed. So maybe if Tom Holland was going to do that, maybe. My mom actually saw Pierce Brosnan eating at a restaurant once, and she said, he's a short guy. True story. True story. Oh, no, he's 6'1". That's fine. You know what? She was probably thinking of, she was probably thinking of Sean Connery. He was a little taller, wasn't he? He was kind of big. Tom Hiddleston? No. It's so hard to not see him as Loki. It's really hard not to see him as Loki. I've seen him in other things now, and I'm just like, I just see that character, and it's almost like he's typecasted. Yeah, Tom Holland is so good as Spider-Man. So good. Oh my gosh. He pulls off that young nerdy, yeah, completely. Unless they're trying to get Zendaya as a Bond girl. Right. What if they did like a young and nerdy, or an ultra young James Bond? James Bond in high school. There he is, Henry Cavill. He would have to lose, oh boy. He would have to probably lose like 30 pounds of muscle, 20 pounds of muscle, 20 pounds of muscle. He's very much, coming off of Superman, he was probably on roids or something. But he would have to lose quite a bit of muscle to be James Bond. Yeah, a prequel. That'd be kind of interesting. Hiddleston looks more book smart. Yeah, Hiddleston could be a good sidekick or something. Cillian Murphy. Man, I'm typecasting Cillian as like a bad guy ever since Peaky Blinders. A training arc? That'd be kind of interesting. Oh, no. 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 Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Sorry, Jamie, you are officially 50 Shades from now on. That is your typecast. Luke Evans. Maybe. I'm not impressed with the list, honestly. Of this list, oh boy, let's see. Henry, if he lost like 20 pounds of muscle, might be decent. No. This guy's got kind of the look. Tom Holland. I swear they just put Tom Holland in the article because they know it'll get clicks. That's all I'm saying. That's probably what it is. Yeah, Evans does look pretty cool. There was a couple of years ago I would have said Tom Hardy. This is more of a Bond villain face to me. Just saying. That's what I'm getting from that. Sorry about that, Jack. Idris, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Bond villain. Young Bond villain. Opposite Tom Holland. There you go. James Bond, the high school years. This is crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. The last time I saw that guy, he was basically a teenager in that Kick-Ass movie. That's crazy to me. Oh my gosh. All right, let's hop on to video 2. We've spent enough time on that tangent. Whoever it is, I hope it's good, okay? That's what I hope. I'm still not over that last movie. Still not over it. All right. Second video is Fiona Gallagher, a tribute to Fiona Gallagher. I gave you all seasons 1 through 9. Let's go ahead and hop in.
Tell me again why getting the house is so important.
I don't even know anymore.
I tried to make enough that I...
This house is so quiet.
Rip the earth into when you're
Yeah, I can see this one being super emotional.
and seal the urge which ensues when brass wires. I never meant you any harm. Your tears feel warm as they fall on my forearms.
Are you gonna leave?
Get up! But close my eyes.
I'm totally going to Google who was the shortest Bond.
Everybody always leaves.
Must get sick of having to think for everybody.
No, we still can.
Daniel Craig,
Choice. I don't
5'10".
get to just go. Don't be stupid. You have a choice. You're just making the wrong one.
You're a grown-up. There comes a point in time that you got to take control of your own life. Whatever you from, whoever did you wrong, didn't do what they were supposed to do, wasn't being who they were.
Daniel Craig was the
supposed
first
to be.
Bond to be shorter than 6 feet.
Just you. No more excuses.
How can you say
I hope I'm not fucking up the
your
kids.
truth is
I love you,
better
you know?
than ours?
You'll always be the person who raised them.
Shoulder to shoulder, now brother, we carry no arms.
What if I don't want to be that anymore?
And the blind man sleeps in the doorway, his home.
Fuck, Frank.
If only I had an enemy bigger than my apathy, I could have won.
What if I just want to be their sister?
But I gave
Spend less time blaming her and more thanking her. For what? For what?
I gave.
Good job, Fiona.
It's tough raising 6 kids by yourself.
I don't know how I could do this without you.
I couldn't have done it without her.
You should go, Fiona.
Good moment by Frank.
I don't know what I'm doing.
You've done more than enough.
Go as far away from here as you can. But don't ever look back, okay?
Close my eyes for a while. Forced from the world a patient smile.
You'll never leave those monkeys. You love them too much. It's all about you.
Yes, it's about me. The past 10 years, I've taken care of every single Gallagher in this family except one. Because it's never about me, and I'm finally making it about me.
I am just as likely as anyone else in this family to make something of myself.
Go! I'm done.
And you rip it from my hands and you swear it's all gone.
You think that you're a good person.
And you rip out all I had just to say that you want.
What my family is has fuck all to do with you.
And you rip it from my hands and you swear it's all gone. And you rip out all I had just to say that you
All right.
well now you
You did a good job. Monica wasn't up to it. You stepped in and helped. Thanks.
gave you all. I gave you all.
I did it all, Frank.
Wow. Amazing edit. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original video. Go throw it some much deserved love. Fiona, not a perfect person. Nobody is. But from what I've gathered in these edits, quite the caretaker for a house that was full of trouble and issues and just a lot. A lot being thrown at you constantly. And she had to take that kind of motherly role, which is wild for a teenager. Yeah, it does. It does absolutely. That is a lot to deal with. I have no firsthand experience of that. I was the youngest of the kids in my family. Yeah. Wow. I can't even think about what that was like because I have no firsthand knowledge of it. But putting myself in her shoes, I would just feel absolutely lost, I guess. Lost would be the word I'd use. You never really have the time and the energy and the motivation to find yourself, to find who you are, find what you're passionate about, because you're always taking care of someone else. That's what childhood is, right? You're finding yourself. You're figuring out what you want to do, who you are, who you want to hang with. Just do kid stuff, you know? Explore. hurt yourself, get back up. You know, all the classic tropes of childhood. I don't think she really got to do. Second youngest of 5. Wow, that's a lot of kids. One thing I could have similar views as a difficult father. Gotcha. I'm the oldest, but my parents are very responsible and caring. That is a blessing. That is an absolute blessing. And the show certainly paints the portrait of people who don't have that, right? So even if you're not directly related to any of the issues in the show, it certainly gives you a good look into them. That's kind of how I take it. You know, not everybody relates to everything in the show, maybe a little part of the show, but it does give you view of how some people spent their early lives, right? Oldest Gallagher child since she was 16 and her mother walked out. She is taking care of her siblings and dysfunctional alcoholic father, Frank, 16. Could you imagine? You barely have your driver's license at that point in the U.S. Gosh. Yeah, you haven't thought about your future. You haven't thought about what you want to do very often. You know, typically you do, maybe, as a kid, but it's usually something wild or something you eventually change your mind on once you get a little bit introduced to it and more knowledge. Yeah, 16. Good grief. I was barely functioning as a 16-year-old. I was a late bloomer, I'll say. At 16, I was very much still infantile. My mom kept a pretty protective bubble over my brothers and I, so it was very much suspended childhood, if you will. So I wouldn't relate to this pretty much at all, honestly. Maybe there's some things in the show I might relate to, but it would be certainly an interesting look into some lives. Despite how stressful and chaotic her life is, Fiona meets every challenge head on. Her siblings and father often turn to her when they get into trouble with the law, which is wild because she's 16. My father's very old-fashioned and not understanding of certain things. He said to my siblings that if we married someone of the same gender, he wouldn't be at the wedding, so me and one of my sisters made a pact. If we married someone of the same gender, we would be each other's person to walk down. That's wonderful. All right, to some of the issues on the show. That's great. That is an awesome pact. I like that. Fiona is a hard worker, willing to take on even the worst jobs to support the family. Occasionally, she cuts loose and goes out drinking and dancing with her best friend and next-door neighbor, Veronica. Although normally level-headed, she can make ill-informed choices. Well, she hasn't had the opportunity to grow up. Literally was like, I'm a kid. I'm 16. And then all of a sudden, you need to get a job. You need to take care of your siblings. You need to not think about yourself. So, of course, she's going to make ill-informed choices. She hasn't had any life experiences outside of working and being basically a mother. Season 4, cocaine. One-time incident that did not end well. Emphasis on the not. Struggle between wanting to take care of her family and strike out on her own leads to problems for Fiona in later seasons. She begins to come into her own after she uses her determination and quick wit to make a series of mostly successful real estate ventures. That's awesome. Her sister's getting married in May to a guy, but I'm the only sibling to become queer. My mom knows, and one of the sisters know, but my dad obviously, not my dad obviously, so the pact could become real. Interesting. Well, congrats to your sister on the marriage. That's awesome. Yeah, that is great. That is one thing I've said on this channel before. Siblings, after the parents go and move on, if you will, siblings are the closest tie you have to your past. And you might not have a good relationship with your siblings. If you don't, it might be worth reconciling it. Whether that means taking one for the team, taking the high road, or not. They're definitely the closest thing you have to a foundation. At the end of season 9, Fiona decides to leave and make a fresh start somewhere else and departs the show. Scrappy, resourceful, and not afraid to get into a fight. Well, I mean, at the age of 16, she's basically become a parent. Other than Lip, Fiona is the most reliable of all the Gallaghers. Almost always there, willing to do whatever. Keep her siblings out of foster care. Dropped out of high school to take care of them. Yeah, that is... Oh, gosh, that's brutal. My life could be a shameless reboot. Hey, start writing it. You never know. While Fiona gets along with either of her... Doesn't get along. There we go. Doesn't get along with either of her parents because of their neglect. Can I make this bigger? Oh, I can. Look at that. Sweet. While Fiona doesn't get along with either of her parents because of their neglect, she has showed that she does love them. Yeah, it did look like she was always looking for Frank's approval or like accepting of the amount of work and responsibility she had. And she never truly got it. That last moment where she was just like, helped? What are you talking about? I did it all. She was pleased by Frank bonding with the family while he was getting sober, genuinely comforted Frank after being insulted by his mother, Peggy, and understood why he is the way he is. She did tell Frank she loved him in season 3 and was just tired of him not showing care for the family, as well as admitting her fear that he didn't care for them. She was also shocked to learn that he had a third daughter and never told her. Whoa. Whoa. Fiona, like her siblings, wow, tongue-tied, struggles with an unstable self-esteem. She's short-tempered due to stress, often so tired and overworked that she neglects to brush her hair or get adequate sleep. She hides her more sensitive side underneath her tough, confident exterior. It's difficult for her to ask for help. Yeah, that's great that you tell your story to others. That's awesome. Yeah, that is one thing for sure. If you are living your life, right, and it seems difficult, you should share some solace in the fact that there are other people out there with a very similar life, if not worse, or more difficult. You're never really alone. I know the internet can make it seem that way, or just real life, but there's quite a few people, like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people going through a similar situation, which can be comforting. I guess the internet kind of made that great in the fact that you can search out people in a similar situation, so you can feel like you're not alone to it. Even more so. Tumultuous childhood left her with self-esteem and abandonment issues. That makes a lot of sense. Honestly, it is hard to have good self-esteem. I think everybody struggles with that, or self-confidence. There are moments for everybody where we kind of, yikes, we kind of look down on ourselves. That is very true. Ford, Irish carpenter, most grounded, sensible partner Fiona has met. He rebuffed her. Start slow with hanging out before they begin to date. It was Ford who helped her see that she won't always be able to help her siblings, and she needed to let them grow on their own. once she learned Ford was married and using her as an affair. Oh, God. Oh, no. She was devastated. Yeah, I bet. Since she called him her boyfriend. Oh, no. After the breakup, she fell into a drunk slump, constantly drank or lazed around the house. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I always like that ending scene where she's leaving with like the luggage or whatever, because it makes me feel good. Like, this is somebody who has been thrust in this situation. She's struggling profusely to be like a mother, sibling, whatever, caretaker, provider, and then she finally just breaks free. That is beautiful. That is really beautiful. The third video of the day is Penelope and Colin, Wicked Game. Wicked Game is a great song, for sure. Just a total change up in mood. We're going to Bridgerton. We are off. Oh, let's get rid of that window back there. There we go. Friends to lovers story.
To turn over in your mind the events of a mere conversation, to look at all of the evidence and still not be sure. Have you ever felt that way?
No. I could only imagine such a thing.
Our relationship has taken shape so naturally over the years, one could take it for granted. You have always been so constant and loyal, Pen. Perhaps if Lady Whistledown had not rushed to print her gossip, things may have turned out differently for her. For all of us.
Your love is an unrequited fantasy. Colin sees you as you are and regards you no differently than he does Eloise.
You are Pen. You do not count. You're my friend.
Of course. Your friend.
Wow, that's coming up.
Lady Crane was right about you.
What did she say?
If you would simply open your eyes to what is in front of you, then you might see there are those in your life you already make happy.
And who would that be?
You have your family. You have Penelope.
Penelope? That you cared for me. That you would never forsake me. I'm beginning to believe that now.
They are courting.
They've danced a couple of times together at a ball. Colin has done the same with Penelope Featherington.
My favorite of the dialogue in these period pieces is the fact that they sound so proper when discussing like feelings and courting and all that stuff. It just sounds odd to like a modern ear. You're just like, are they giving a dissertation or are they proclaiming their love for each other?
It's
very interesting.
The way you were dancing with her looked rather interesting. Huh.
Oh,
You're
yes.
courting the girl, Bridgerton.
Ah, are you mad? I would never dream.
It's
of
very
courting Penelope
cerebral.
Featherington. Not in your wildest fantasies, Fife. Pen,
I overheard you at my mama's ball last season, telling everyone how you would never, ever court Penelope Featherington.
if you are going to make me say it out loud, I miss you.
Yet somehow they shine even brighter when you are kind.
I wrote to you this summer, as I always do, while you did not respond. I thought you would have been bored of my travels by now. You read and replied to more of my letters than anyone else.
I suppose I did.
Eloise is an
There's always so
interesting
much more to say than one can put onto the page.
Come with me.
No one truly notices me.
Clearly a big fan of color yellow. I don't know if that's like a thing or that's just a thing.
I did not know you
Or
would
is
be
this
here.
reusing the scene over and over again?
I'm afraid I cannot offer you that dance, Miss Carroll. I am to escort Miss Featherington to the floor.
You miss me. You miss me, but you had never caught me. Is that correct?
Perhaps we should talk about this somewhere more private.
Because I embarrass you. Of course, you had never caught me. I am the laughingstock of the town, even when I changed my entire wardrobe. It just never occurred to me that you, of all people, could be so cruel.
Gotcha.
You were very good to him. I am certain one day he will see it.
Good luck on your tour.
Your dreams are grander than you let on, Pen. You really are very good, you know that.
Wonderful edit. Good grief. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original edit. Go throw out some much deserved love. It's very interesting. Sometimes someone can be right under your nose and they're perfect for you and you just don't quite see it. Maybe you're a friend, maybe you're just looking for something else and you're not even seeing them as a potential interest or love interest. And then someday it can just change on a dime and you eventually see them like that. Maybe you start to see the qualities come out that you're looking for and you're like, you know what? Wait a minute. And then you have to decide, is it worth pursuing? You know, do you want to risk the friendship, the great friendship you have for that love interest? Because it can get ugly if it fails and then you lose your best friend or good friend or whatever. And you can never really go back. I know some people say you can, or you can, you know, just mutually agree that you're not right together and then go back. But I don't know. I don't think that's really possible. Or if it is, it's very awkward at best. But yeah, it's amazing how many people become friends and don't even realize they'd be a great couple together. They do become more than friends and will marry in the end. They're opposites to Kate and Anthony, who you know about. Yes. Kate and Anthony was enemies to lovers. Pollen. Friends to lovers. All right, let's bring up some information about Penelope so we can learn a bit more about her. Boom. Youngest Featherington child. You know what? I turned on an ad blocker, and these websites are way more tolerable. At the start of the 1813 social season, like what even is that? Penelope was presented to society over her objections that she'd rather wait another year like her close friend, Eloise. Her mother insisted she be presented. Wow. I don't know why I think of this, but whenever I think of social season and presenting to society and putting up for courtship, it feels like, what are those called? Where you like show off like pigs and cows and stuff like that, like a livestock show or something, and then you bid on them. It is so strange. So strange. I don't know why my mind instantly goes there, but I'm just like, this is like a whole production of being presented and they're available. Now, who's the highest bidder? Her mother insisted she be presented, and Penelope was presented to the queen along with her two older sisters. Though she was disinterested in entering society, Penelope was intrigued by Colin. When Marina attracted... Hold on, let me boost this up. There we go. Now you guys can read it, I think. Let's see here. When Marina attracted many callers, including Colin, Penelope was happy to be entertained by them, listening as they recited poetry for her and playing with the dog one brought for her. Wow. Now that is a move. Bringing a dog? Wow. All right. I see it. I respect it. At the next event, it is a bit presumptuous, isn't it? Penelope isn't the youngest sister in the books. There's a sister called Felicity that isn't in the show. Interesting. Wonder why they chose to get rid of Felicity. Yeah, they show that in season 1 as part of the Daphne song. Oh, betting on pigs. Yes. At the next event, Colin asked Penelope about Marina, who told him that she was sick when Cressida Cowper saw the two of them talking. She spilled her drink on Penelope to try to get her out of the way. Oh, brutal. Didn't work as Colin refused to dance with Cressida, saying he was already going to dance with Penelope. That was that scene. Okay. Cressida? Oh, Cressida. Cressida. Dang, I would have never gotten that. I would have absolutely never gotten that. Penelope was shocked when she learned that Marina was pregnant, as she'd been taught you had to get married to get pregnant, and Marina was not married. Ooh, rumors, juicy gossip. She shared this news with Eloise, though she pretended it was a maid who was pregnant. Penelope brought Marina a plate of sweets and asked her how she became pregnant. Marina explained that it started when a boy at church brought her some sweets. Now that's ironic. Over time, they came to love each other, and that's how she got pregnant. She also shares the letters George had written. At a picnic, Eloise asked Penelope for more information, and Penelope said the maid wanted to escape to the country and marry her love. Penelope began checking the mail daily, looking for letters from George to Marina, consoling her when none came. As she watched Colin and Marina get closer, Penelope tried to dissuade the two any way she could. She reminded Colin of his desire to travel and tried to direct Marina to other men, but none of her efforts worked. Penelope's worry increased as Colin and Marina grew closer and then got engaged. Oh boy. Wanting to stop their marriage, Penelope went to Colin and revealed to him that Marina was already in love with another. Colin brushed off her concerns, saying he didn't care about what Marina did before they met. In the last-ditch effort to stop them from making a mistake, Penelope found the letters from George and compared them to the last one. She then showed Marina that the signature on the last one was different, meaning it wasn't from George, and he had disavowed their relationship. Marina said that that meant he still hadn't replied to her, which wasn't much better, and she still wanted to marry Colin. During this, boy, everything is failing right now. During this conversation, Marina came to realize that Penelope liked Colin. Ding, 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 ding. She told Penelope rather unkindly that she'd need to get over that, as Colin saw her as a sister, while he saw Marina as a suitor. Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal. Colin called it off when the news broke she was pregnant. Yes, that's not surprising. Yeah, have a good rest of your day. I will see you later. There will be a second stream today. The second one will be posted to YouTube tomorrow. I will be traveling tomorrow, but it will be posted tomorrow. I'll just schedule it. Have a good one. In the books, the baby twins are Philip's, the brother in the show. There's no brother. Eloise gives her sorrows to him through letters after Marina died. Eloise isn't great in the books. The guy that Marina had a baby of is the brother of the man who will marry Eloise. Got it? Got it? Penelope told Eloise that they hadn't any callers for 3 days. Whoa. Later, Penelope went to Marina to talk to her and found her passed out on the floor, having consumed a tea meant to induce miscarriage. Whoa. Oh boy. Marina also said Penelope was right about Colin, and she hoped Colin would see Penelope for who she was one day. Later, Penelope stayed with Marina when she received a visit from Philip Crane, George's brother. He brought news that George had died, along with a proposal for Marina, saying he knew George had compromised her honor. Oh my gosh. That is some beautiful, juicy gossip right there. Cressida. Got it. Book timeline article. We'll talk more on how they went from friends to lovers. Let's do a quick little background on Colin, and then we will get to that. 1813 social season. Attended social events with his family, including the newly debuted Daphne. At the Danbury Ball, Colin noticed Marina, whom we found very attractive, though he hadn't know who she was. He didn't know who she was. Why am I making this more proper? Despite this, he went to dance with her. The next day, he called Marina at the Featherington house, though he was among many. Oh, that's so weird. This would be such an interesting situation to be in. At another event, Colin asked Penelope about Marina and learned she was ill. Yeah, ill. Danced with Cressida, tried to interject and spilled her drink on her to get her out of the way. At a future event, Lady Bridgerton tried to set up each of the 3 eldest sons with eligible ladies. Daphne went to Colin to find out where it was so she could stop the duel. Colin continued to pursue Marina, calling on her at the Featherington's home. After Daphne and Simon got married at the reception, Marina flirted with Colin, then pretended to be faint to lure Colin into a library. Oh my gosh. Where she had him close the door, even though they were the only 2 in the room. She tried to kiss him, but he said he had to preserve her honor and refused to go forward. Wow. All while she was pregnant. That's wild. However, as she left, he proposed to her. What? Like proposed? Dang. Colin then joined the rest of the family to see Simon and Daphne off. After Daphne's departure, Colin announced his engagement to his family in public. That is wild. Anthony pulled Colin aside privately and criticized his decision and how he announced it. I could see that. Colin said he didn't need Anthony's permission, but he wanted his blessing. Anthony refused to give it. Boy, Anthony had some foresight on there. He next spoke to his mother, who said she wasn't prepared to have a second child married so soon after Daphne. Yeah, it kind of steals the spotlight, isn't it? Colin went with Anthony, his mother, to have dinner with Marina and the Featheringtons. At the dinner, Marina spoke of her desire to travel with Colin, which gave Lady Featherington the opportunity to push for a shorter engagement to take advantage of the nice weather for travel. Boy, she had an agenda there. When he stepped away from the dinner, Penelope confronted Colin in the hallway, telling him about Marina's love with George. Last-ditch effort there. Colin said they didn't care what Marina did before they met and dismissed her concern. Then Marina came out in the hall. She was distressed because she didn't feel wanted by anyone. Even Colin's family was just polite and didn't really like her. He then made a plan to take Marina to Scotland so they could marry immediately. Oh boy. However, their engagement was swiftly ended. Yep. Came out that she was pregnant. There you go. Even with the scandal, Colin wanted to visit Marina and speak to her. Wow. That's surprising. Eloise and Colin's book happens around the same time of each other. The The book order and show order will change. The book order, Daphne season 1, Anthony season 2, Benedict, Colin season 3, Eloise, Francesca, Hyacinth, and Gregory. Gregory and Hyacinth's stories were switched in the books. In the show, they swapped Benedict's story for Colin and Penelope, but Benedict could be season 4. Then Eloise, Francesca, Hyacinth, and Gregory probably will be the order. Well, they must have some sort of plan for that, or why they did that. All right, let's get to that. Here's what happens to Penelope and Colin in their Bridgerton book. It's official. The 3rd season of Netflix Bridgerton will be the first to change up the order of protagonists established in Julia Quinn's book series. Season 3 will focus on friends to lovers romance between Colin and Penelope, which had already been simmering through the first 2 seasons. Book that the season will adapt is actually the 4th. While the TV show will undoubtedly tweak the story, just as the previous seasons have, here's a spoiler-packed overview of how Colin and Penelope's story plays out on the page. Penelope is not quite 16 and is out for a walk with her mother and sisters when they stop to talk to Lady Bridgerton and Daphne. Gust of wind sends Penelope's bonnet flying into Colin's face, surprising him so much he falls off his horse. Oh my gosh. Penelope is horrified, but Colin finds the whole thing hilarious, and Penelope falls for him immediately. Over the years, Colin and Penelope become good friends, with Colin apparently oblivious to Penelope's feelings. She spends year after year being forced to wear unflattering gowns by her tasteless mother, and enduring the catty gossip of the town, who see her only as an ugly duckling wallflower. Oof, that's brutal. One day, she has the misfortune to overhear the end of a conversation Colin is having with his brothers, in which he snaps at them that he would certainly not marry Penelope. Colin apologizes and tries to explain, as do his brothers, Anthony and Benedict, but the hurt is done, even though Penelope pretends everything is fine. First kiss. A decade passes, and neither Penelope nor Colin marry at age 28. I'm sure that's like ancient back in those days. At age 28, Penelope finds herself a confirmed spinster. Not that she's surprised. Colin at 33 has dodged matchmaking mamas for several seasons, spending most of his time traveling the world. When they cross paths, they pick right back up where they left off. They get into a fight, however, when Penelope stumbles across his journals and begins reading his surprisingly eloquent travel chronicles. I'm sure they were interesting. The fight soon subsides into a quiet conversation as Penelope praises his writing, and Colin admits that he's tired of being thought of as a charming but not particularly bright. The curse of good looks, as I say. Like on, but with a T sound at the start. Ton. Interesting. I have no idea what that is. I've never seen that word before or heard it. Obviously, I've heard of ton, like a ton of stuff or a ton of things. Then one day, much to Colin's surprise, he suddenly realizes that the chemistry between the two of them has changed. Again, like I said, it can just be that quick. And all of a sudden, you very much want to kiss her. It's what the society refers to themselves in the show. Oh, gotcha. London society in the 1800s in the book, gotcha, was called a ton. Okay. Probably play on words for the town. Oh, okay. All right. Appreciate the help there. Meanwhile, Penelope is being hit particularly hard by feelings of loneliness, and in a moment of vulnerability, she asks Colin to kiss her because she doesn't want to die having never been kissed. He does, as she asks, sending both of them into an emotional tailspin for a little while. Even after the engagement, Colin and Penelope remain a little emotionally unsettled. Colin seeks advice from Daphne about how to know if it's really love as he tries to figure out exactly what his own feelings are. Gosh, is that not relatable or what? Trying to figure out what the heck your feelings are towards things. Whether you're making the right decision, whether you have thought it all through, what you really want, what you really like. Gosh, that is such a conundrum for a lot of people. That fight leads Colin to answer his own question. Yes, he does love Penelope. They have sex on the night of their engagement ball, and Colin manages to convince their families to move up to the wedding, partially in case Penelope gets pregnant, and partially because they just want to be married as soon as possible. Yeah, they're tired of waiting. At 28 and 33, they're just like, let's get this show on the road. We should have been on the road. We're a little delayed. Penelope is still hurting over her belief that Colin is ashamed of her writing and her career as Whistledown. When they have the conversation, however, Colin deflects the question, hiding the truth. He's a little jealous, actually. Takes some time, but he's finally able to admit his complicated feelings to Penelope. In turn, she tells him the story of how she began writing Whistledown and reveals that she is, in fact, very wealthy because of her writings. That's awesome. With Penelope's permission and with the whole family's support, he announces that Penelope is Whistledown to cheers and applause. That's so cool. It's like Anthony and Kate's roles for Gregory in his book. The advice was a big driving force. I reckon Benedict could take that role in the show for Colin in season 3. Maybe. It's coming up. 15 days, you said, right? That's awesome. Clearly, it's going to be number 1 on Netflix. That's just a guarantee. The next video is Lydia Martin. And this is from the show Teen Wolf. I don't think I've done a Teen Wolf video in a while, honestly. This is entitled Banshee. And obviously, we're going to look into Lydia Martin after this because I don't think I have any idea who this is.
Lydia Martin.
It's been a minute.
Lydia.
Let me tell you, there's plenty to say about Lydia.
5'3", green eyes, fair-skinned, and her hair is actually strawberry blonde. Hey, Lydia.
You know, Lydia used to pretend not to be smart.
I'm so bad at this.
We want you to look out for your friend, to make sure everything's okay with her.
Seems okay to me. Our Lydia?
It's your brain flooding with phenylethylamine. Vertigo is a dysfunction of the vestibular system of the inner ear.
I think I'm getting the hang of it.
That was sort of perfect form.
Was it? Isn't it? What? I read once that. I read it somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
I read.
Maybe you should stop pretending to suck just for his benefit.
Academically, Lydia is one of the finest students I've ever had.
I probably would have been mad if I was a Teen Wolf.
You know her, K-Clad.
But Maze Runner series?
It's a
Pretty
subset
great.
of apophenia.
I enjoyed it.
It's metaphoric. Try the Mongolian drill.
And I'm also pretty sure that I'm the only one who knows how smart you really are.
He's really smart.
Her AP classes push her GPA above a 5.0.
Dang.
And that once you're done pretending being a nitwit, you'll eventually go off and write some insane mathematical theorem
Only
that
took
wins you the
one
Nobel
AP
Prize.
course.
Lydia, I wasn't aware you had so many hidden talents.
It's like really good.
I was in honors courses, though.
The Fields medal's the one I'll be winning.
I'd actually like to have her IQ tested.
We're not exactly brain trusted.
Friend to girlfriend, best friend of Allison, who was the main lead's girlfriend before Allison actor died. Oh. Dang.
Genius is here. Then maybe we should call one.
Isn't she supposed to be some kind of genius? A genius, yes.
It said that
Lydia's not
weird.
gonna have a problem
Made
getting
it
into
sound like she
Stanford.
died.
One class.
We can only have one class.
Your grades are fine. Where's Lydia?
She took it her freshman year.
I had enough credits to graduate last year.
Just how smart are you?
And socially, she displays outstanding leadership qualities. I mean, she's a real leader.
Lydia's birthday is always the party of the year, isn't it?
Lydia, who throws the best parties in Beacon Hills?
What? Me! Obviously. asleep.
I'm glad I went over that in my mind. Like, wait, did I say that? Like she died? The
You're
actor?
gonna think I'm crazy. What's happening?
How much do you know about this stuff?
Pieces.
Oh, that's right. They haven't told you, have they?
I'll promise not to say anything about what just happened. If you can tell me what the hell just happened.
Bet you felt like the last to know for a long time.
Oh?
I'm the spark that lit your fire, sweetheart. If she lives, she'll become a werewolf.
She lost a lot of blood, but there's something else going on with her.
Nothing happened to you. It's like she's immune. She's not a werewolf. What the hell is she?
She's a tribrid. This is Vampire Diaries.
Lydia, sweetheart. Why did you do that? I didn't even know where I was until I got out of the car. I'm not crazy.
You wouldn't turn from the bite, you wouldn't die, but you would be able to do.
I don't like this place. Are you saying I have a reputation?
An unusual one?
Lydia's got sort of a talent.
It's the same thing. Same thing as the pool.
Are you okay? Lydia.
Just an unusual habit of showing up at places where people have been brutally
Human to
murdered.
banshee. Loud scream.
She somehow ended up finding a couple of the bodies without actually looking for them.
The answer is I have no clue how I ended up finding that body. I don't know why I am the one that keeps finding the bodies. You have no idea what you are, do you?
Maybe you're psychic.
I'm not a psychic. I'm psychic.
You're psychic? You're something. She's something.
I'm something!
I am someone.
I mean, I get
am
that I'm some kind of like human Geiger counter for death, but I don't know how to turn it on and off yet. I don't know anything.
But you feel something.
I had this sudden rushing feeling.
Why, is he dead?
Do you have any kind of indication, any kind of feeling about this?
Premonition? Yeah. Yes.
What do you feel?
I feel like something terrible is going to happen. The one with the screaming and people killing each other? I'm standing in a graveyard, and it's not just a feeling.
The Wailing Woman. A banshee right before
Lydia
my
was one of my
eyes.
faves. She felt like the
Banshees
mean
don't
girl
predict
who had
danger.
amazing growth. Awesome.
They predict that.
Think you know what a banshee premonition feels like?
But if we don't get out of here, someone's going
That's
to
always a
He's
good
going
growth
to
arc.
die.
How do you know that?
Just you.
Well, maybe the GPS would work better if it was on.
What? We're almost there. Did you hear that?
Hear
what?
She
You hear that?
knew where she
Hear
was
what?
going.
All day I have been hearing this sound. It's like a baby crying, whispering. That sound, it's getting louder. You didn't hear people whispering? Did you hear a gunshot?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Lydia, I'm not sure anybody hears what you hear.
Voices.
I have to.
Like Justin in 13 Reasons Why, the character that's the bully mean character that becomes one of the biggest heroes. Yeah, that is a classic teen movie, teen show character arc for sure, and it's awesome. You always love to see it.
Admit, I don't have much experience with banshees.
Redemption is a very powerful
Well, it makes
arc.
two of us, since I don't have much experience being one.
What are the voices telling you?
Justin and Cheryl from
Trust
Riverdale
me.
were mixed up. He was
You had better luck with tarot cards. What else do banshees do? You think I know? Not a psychic. Apparently, I'm not much of a banshee either.
Power doesn't come without a little pain and struggle.
I don't have claws or glowing eyes or super senses. I didn't ask for it.
Plus, it's very much like Clark Kent figuring out he's Superman and trying to get used to the powers. I just think of Smallville when he's trying to like learn how to fly and figure out his eyes and whatnot. It's always such a, that was so cool.
I just have voices in my head.
I have a feeling you underestimate your abilities, Lydia.
Why?
She's a pretty little thing, isn't she?
Lydia Martin is not only beautiful, not only incredibly intelligent.
That pretty little thing could shatter your skull with her voice if someone decided to teach her how.
Lydia? What do they want with Lydia?
The power of a banshee.
But Lydia's pain is particularly appealing to a 1,000-year-old demon.
He probably thinks what we're all thinking. That Lydia's got something bigger to do with this.
But honestly, if there's anyone who could figure this thing out, it's Lydia.
I feel like I can do this.
And maybe she's the only one who could actually save us.
It's not the scream that gives you power.
But I don't know what to do. I am going to show you.
That is
how to
definitely a
use your
power that
voice.
can be harnessed
Swear to
in
God.
some way.
It literally makes me want to scream. What do you want from me?
I want you to do what you do best, Lydia.
I want you to scream.
I need you to scream.
Okay, then scream. Lydia, scream.
Most annoying superpower of all time. That's what I'll say.
What the hell was that?
Lydia, I heard a kind of explosion.
All the scream does is help drown out the noise, allowing you to hear.
You're just like me, Lydia. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it.
So how loud can you scream?
Loud enough to create a burst of acoustic energy that could crush your skull.
I mean, that's
found that
pretty cool, though.
trepanation would initially heighten their powers, but to levels that couldn't be contained.
She doesn't look good. She's a hole in her head.
What did you do to me?
I've amplified her abilities.
Will be like causing a leak in a nuclear reactor. She'll hear everything.
What?
You will see things, Lydia. Every death, every dying scream, all at once.
Where's she coming from?
Everywhere.
It's too loud. I can't.
What's happening to her?
A banshee. She died screaming.
It's being consumed by her power. I can't believe it.
Her own dying scream could be so powerful that it might kill everyone around her as well.
Oh my god. That's some interesting logic there. Put a hole in her head and that like
Personally, I
amplifies it.
think that you're going to pull through with a minimal amount of post-traumatic stress.
You okay? You okay?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm fine.
You okay?
Yeah.
And maybe a few years of profoundly disturbing nightmares.
Oh boy.
Someone tried to strangle me.
Good grief.
Lydia? Okay. It's not as bad as it looks.
Help! Get someone to help me!
Not as bad as it looks.
When I survived, I want to learn how to fight.
Yeah, definitely needs to learn that. So none of that stuff happens again. Good.
So the doors were solid steel.
Your hands can guide your voice.
Oh.
I said they'll stop a bullet, not a banshee.
Now that's cool.
Ghost Rider was afraid of her.
He's afraid of you.
I'm afraid of me.
I'm afraid of myself. Right.
It wasn't fear, it was... You're the monsters. Even banshees. Get behind me. They won't take advantage. Stay behind me. Almost like reverence.
How does it work?
I know people are going to die.
Oh.
Do it. Scream, Lydia. Scream like a banshee.
Is that how you do your predictions?
That was
Do you
odd.
need to touch them?
No.
Or is it just a feeling?
How do you know who's gonna die next?
Tell us why you left Styles.
Just how close to death do they have to be?
If I was never in the car with him, there wouldn't have to be a crash. We wouldn't have to die.
Do you ever have nice dreams?
Do you ever see anything remotely optimistic?
It's optimistic if you prevent it. There doesn't have to be a next.
I mean, that's solid
And
reasoning.
you wouldn't have to scream.
Not all monsters do monstrous things. Like who? Like Scott? Like you? The things I've seen and felt, they don't always happen. Maybe if I just stopped trying to fight it, I'd find them before it happens. But if I have this thing, it's gotta work some of the time. Maybe with enough time for someone like you to do something about it. It's gotta help someone.
And Lydia would never run and hide.
It's not strong with emotion.
Fear.
Anger.
Sounds like Lydia.
My friends are in trouble. How do I save them?
You'll be safe. Watch your friends suffer.
But I'm trying to help my friends. I don't want to be safe. My friends. They need me. I'm going for it.
You don't care about getting hurt.
I can help him. The other night, I helped save someone's life. That felt really good.
So aren't you the screamer?
Banshee.
Yeah, but banshees scream, right?
Banshees don't scream. They wail.
Whale. Excellent. Margarita Life. Link down below in the YouTube description to go throw it some love. Excellent edit as always. Good grief. What a character. What a story. What an arc. Clearly very loyal to her friends. Clearly trying to figure out what the heck her powers are and how to control them. Learning that she can use her hands to direct it. Oh, absolutely. One of the best in the game. I won't say the best because there is a lot of different editors that make some really good stuff, but definitely 1A, 1B, etc. For sure. What a interesting, learning, top tier for sure. Yes, top tier. What an interesting character. Trying to figure out how to harness her powers, how to use it for good. Not all monsters are monsters. Or not all monsters do monster things or something. Wow, interesting. Let me go ahead and bring this up so we can learn a little bit more about Lydia, what a banshee is, etc. Here's a quote to a fellow banshee. I'm not sure how to do this, ... I'm not a psychic, and apparently I'm not much of a banshee either, but I'm trying to help my friends. That's that loyalty. I don't know if, and protectorism. I don't know if you can hear me or what I'm supposed to ask you, but if I have this thing, it's got to work some of the time. It's got to help someone. So clearly she's using her powers, her newfound powers, for good, or trying to. Daughter of Naoui and Mr. Martin. Lydia could be described when first introduced as a shallow, vain, mean girl. There it is. Mean girl who played dumb to hide just how smart she truly was. However, after she became friends with Allison, Scott, and Styles, began to shed this persona, become more of herself, and has since grown into a brave, compassionate person who genuinely enjoys helping others who are struggling, particularly those who have been traumatized by the supernatural like herself. That is an excellent growth. That growth. I loaded up the movie because I'm curious how it was. It's 2 hours and 30. That is a long movie. 2 hours and 30 minutes, but I really want to know how the character arc's wrapped up. Yeah. Came out in 2023. That's not that long ago. I'm surprised I didn't hear about it. At the end of season 1, Lydia was attacked and bitten by then Alpha Wolf Peter Hale, but in a shocking turn of events, she neither died nor turned into a werewolf. Feat that was virtually unheard of. She began to hear voices, go into, how the heck do you pronounce that? Fugu states? Similar to sleepwalking. Oh, that's not fun. And have terrifying hallucinations about Peter, revealing that, unbeknownst to her at the time, Peter's attack had activated the latent banshee abilities that she had inherited from her paternal grandmother. Interesting. My question is, did she find out more about her grandmother? Was that like a search that she went on? trying to find the roots of this. It was eventually revealed that his attack against her also allowed his spirit to live on in her mind, affording him a connection with Lydia that he could use to manipulate her into resurrecting him with a special ritual on the worm moon. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. Even after he had vacated... That's very much like a Voldemort Harry Potter thing. Even after he had vacated her consciousness, Lydia began to be drawn to dead bodies, particularly those whose deaths were related to the supernatural, and began unconsciously screaming, which steadily began to worry her. It was eventually revealed to her by Jennifer Blake that Lydia was, in fact, a banshee, also known as the Wailing Woman, a harbinger of death who was drawn to the dead and the supernatural. She struggled with it, obviously, how to use her powers, often lamenting the fact that her powers were passive, spontaneous, largely out of control. I'm assuming she started to gain some control of it. When the Deadpool started in Beacon Hills, Lydia was the second highest valued target at $20 million, both as a result of her powerful ability to foretell death and the equally powerful and unique pack who was sure to fight to protect her. I'm sorry, the Deadpool? The list of supernaturals in Beacon Hills, it's a Deadpool and we're all on it. Supernatural hit list created by Meredith under the instruction of then comatose Peter Hale. During season 4, this event took place where people in effort to kill all the supernatural creatures and rebuild the new community in Peter's image, though the present-day Peter could not even remember making this plan while he was mentally trapped in his own comatose body. Deadpool led to the deaths of many people, including both the supernaturals on the list, as well as many of the assassins who attempted to kill them, and were thus killed by their targets and their allies in self-defense. Wow. Peter guy is quite the character, huh? That's crazy. And now it's not going back. What's happening? Come on. There we go. Good grief. Season 6, her powers continued to grow, which included experiencing astral premonition of a past event in 1987, where she was able to physically interact with another banshee, and she demonstrated the ability to use her scream to kill a ghostwriter. Wow, got into MIT. Holy crap. She was a lot smarter and she was leading on. That's for sure. Oh my gosh, she was playing dumb and now she's at MIT. Starting college as a junior because of those advanced placement courses. Which, if you're unaware, those are high school courses that give you college credit, basically, university credit. Those just started to get big when I was in high school. What an interesting character arc. After incapacitating Harris, Lydia used her banshee voice for the first time in several years to call out to Allison, restoring all of her memories of her loved ones. Wow. What an arc. What a story. Clearly very loyal to her friends. Used her powers for good, which is always great. And probably the most interesting part of this is the transformation from a mean girl to a normal person. Certainly watching her flourish with her intellectual ability. What else? Learning how to control things, or at least accept her powers, would be very interesting. Super interesting. The last video of the day is The Passage. I've never even heard of this. Brad and Amy, Someone to Stay. So this will be quite the introduction, if I say so. Let's go ahead and jump into it.
Why are you so nice to me?
I lost someone very precious once. I just stopped believing in anything. Then I met this little girl. She doesn't have anybody.
She says when I change, you won't want me anymore.
Hey, no, I'm not going anywhere. Okay, you want family, that's me. Not them. Me. And it's so clear to me that what I'm supposed to do right now is to make sure that she's safe. You can do it. It's the only thing that's made sense to me in a long time.
I'm the girl from nowhere. The one no one will miss.
It is so weird to
Your
see
life is
Zach
important.
Morris all grown up from Saved by the Bell. It is
You
so
are.
odd.
Look at that smile. I don't want to lose you.
The animal crackers and the front seat and the letting her use your tablet. And now stopping at a damn carnival. She's cargo.
Where's the girl? She's not here.
I will kill you.
I'm here. I'm right here.
The only thing that matters is that you're safe. I'm not gonna leave you. I promise. Do I get anything out of this deal?
You don't leave me, and I don't leave you. You don't leave me, I don't leave you. Whatever was coming, we would face it together.
Well, that's adorable. Link down below in the description for the original edit. Go throw it some love. That was adorable. All right, let's find out more about the passage. Clearly, I think he lost his family. That's why he's clinging to her, felt protective of her. And I think that's why she said, if you don't leave me, I won't leave you. And that kind of hit the heartstrings quite a lot for his character. Again, that is so weird to see Zach Morris grown up. It is strange because I used to watch Saved by the Bell a lot. It's an American thriller television series based on the trilogy of novels. Spans years in the life of Amy Belafonte as she moves from being manipulated in a government conspiracy to protecting humankind in a post-apocalyptic vampire future. Wait, what? I did not get that from any of that. What? What? Government conspiracy to protecting mankind in a post-apocalyptic vampire future. I did not pick up any of that in that edit. So clearly that part was mostly edited out and it was mostly just their relationship. But what? Like, I didn't get post-apocalyptic at all from that edit. That's crazy. Wow. Canceled after one season. Passage focuses on Project Noah, a secret medical facility where scientists are experimenting with a dangerous virus that could lead to the cure for all disease, but also carries the potential to wipe out the human race. When a young girl, Amy Belafonte, is chosen to be a test subject, federal agent Brad Walgast is tasked with bringing her to Project Noah. Ultimately, however, Walgast becomes her surrogate father as he tries to protect her at any cost. Brad and Amy's journey will force them to confront Project Noah's lead scientist, Major Nicole Sykes, and the hardened ex-CIA operative in charge of Operations Clark, Richards, whom Brad trained. All right, interesting. It likewise brings them face to face with a dangerous new race of beings confined within the walls of Project Noah, including former scientist Tim Fanning and death row inmate Shauna Babcock. As Project Noah's scientists hone in on a cure that could save humanity, these new beings begin to test their own powers, inching one step closer to an escape that could lead to an unimaginable apocalypse. Whoa, is right. Oh my gosh. That was an incredible edit because I had no idea any of that was going on. Like, that was so hyper-focused on their relationship that any of this Project Noah vampire beings, like, what? That's unbelievable. $1.75 million for the film rights. Hey, not bad. If you're the author, you're like, I'll take it. Oh, writing a screenplay with Ridley Scott attached to direct. Producers decided that the project would work better as a television series, and in November 2016, Fox gave a pilot production commitment. Would it have worked as a movie? Well, maybe. You would have gotten more, probably a bigger budget for it, probably bigger names. Let's see. At this time, would it have worked? Yeah, probably. 2011. Was there a big vampire craze around there? Maybe, was that like Twilight time? Like 2009, 10, 11? Maybe it would have worked. Fox Entertainment president told Deadline there would be potential reshoots to the pilot. February 2018, it was revealed that there would be reshoots of the pilot to take place in March. Boy, they reshot it. Vampire Diaries came out in 2009. Yeah, that could have been a wave to catch at the movie theaters for sure. U.S. viewers in millions, 5.2. That's not bad for the pilot. Went down. Kind of stabilized around 3.5. I mean, it didn't go under 3. It's not, going to break records, but it was pretty stable. Maybe not enough for Fox. Critical reception holds an approval rating of 62% based on 26 reviews, with an average rating of 7 out of 10 on Rotten Tomatoes. Strong performances from leads. Can't course correct the passage's wayward plot and feeble tone. 62 out of 100 on 17 critics. 62 isn't that bad. That is not that bad. To be canceled after one season. Wait a minute. What is this? Oh, U.S. viewers. Guardian writer praised the father-daughter dynamic and the series' execution of a daft storyline. Said the novels were a poor fit for network television and criticized some of the show's deviations from the source material. Yeah, network TV is not where I go for a lot of good shows. Like if it's like this seems like this would be really good on, well, number one as a movie. So you could really get into that vampire craziness. But network TV, it's very hard for them to make a really good show. Oh, this is including DVR, everything. 8.7. That's not bad. That's not bad. And they abandoned that after one season quick. Maybe they're having production issues or something. Or Fox was just like, this isn't catching on enough. Let's just get rid of it. Amy. Extraordinary girl, unlike her viral counterparts. She's the daughter of Jeanette, who unfortunately passed. Due to her status as an orphan, she was randomly chosen to be kidnapped by 2 federal agents, Brad being one, to be a test subject for Project Noah. However, with the change of heart, she was taken under Brad's wing and fled the government. While on the run, she was eventually captured and injected with the viral serum and underwent dramatic changes to her physiology while also gaining remarkable abilities. Enhanced speed, telepathy, precognition, and retrocognition. Raised by a single mother. While spending time alone in a fast food restaurant, Amy encountered some schoolboys who challenged her to an arm wrestling match. Defeating one of the boys, she was given money as a result of a bet. Politely declining, she spent the rest of her time reading her book. Taken in by the police and was immediately put into foster care. Summoned into the house to meet 2 random men in suits. She was told that she was needed for an important investigation involving her mother and that they were social services. Oh my God. Doubting their legitimacy, Amy snuck out of the house and attempted to run away until she was caught. Brad made the decision to abandon Phil, his mission, and run away with Amy, putting her trust in him. They both fled. Brad encouraged her to recall good memories of her mother, whom she harbored anger against. Brad returned to the car and admitted to seeing himself on the news as a kidnapper. Both were eventually taken into custody. Agents working for Project Noah showed up. Wow. This is really interesting. Then again, Fox was the same company that canceled Lucifer, right? Oh my gosh. As much as the CW sucked nowadays and later years, they knew how to catch great trends. Vampires equal Vampire Diaries. Superheroes equal Arrow, Flash, Arrowverse. Yeah, exactly. Maybe it would have been better off on CW. Yeah, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Vampire Diaries. Was Buffy originally on Fox? I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I'm trying to think. Was it actually a Fox or NBC or whatever show? Or was it actually CW? Or no, not CW, because CW didn't exist. Mind reading? Telepathic communication? Precognition? Wow. Enhanced speed, daywalking, fang retraction, blood consumption. Post-transformation no longer depended on human food for nourishment. It is unknown whether she does not need to feed at all to live. That's surprising. Despite surviving nearly a month without any food, it is a possibility that she might not need any source of food for empowerment. Now that's powerful. That's powerful. CW may have kept it going for 3 seasons because shows that got potential and have these themes would have stabilized it. CW didn't have massive viewing, but good enough for a couple of years. Right. Yeah, because, I mean, judging by those numbers, just on TV alone, not including DVR and all that, it was still over 3 million per episode, even at its lowest point. And I think Batwoman in the second season was just over 1 million, maybe even slightly less. So they could have gone for at least 3 seasons. All right, looking into Brad. Brad is a complicated character, obviously. Yeah, there we go. Federal agent, former federal agent, of course. ex-wife and a daughter whom he lost to gun violence. Boom. Definitely felt that. He has had difficulty coming to terms with his daughter's death and grew unrelenting over the years. Eventually, he was tasked to abduct a young girl, but attached to her and abandoned his post. That's not surprising. Worked in military as special ops. In the year 2016, Eva was shot and murdered by an armed robber at a convenience store. That was his daughter's name. Failed therapy, sought revenge, and murdered the man responsible for Eva's death after acquiring information about the killer from Richards. Whoa. That was really the turning point right there. It wasn't even flipping on Amy. This was the turning point. He literally became the Punisher. He later began working with Project Noah alongside Phil as a recruit to help round up death row inmates to be used as experiments. Oh, boy. Good grief. What an interesting show. It's unfortunate it was on Fox, because I think it would have carried on, as we've been talking about, Luke and I here, on a different network. I think CW would have loved this. Would it have looked different? Yes. Would it have had the same actors in it? Maybe. But yeah, that's too bad. 3 novels and you got 1 season out of it. That is just tragic. But the author got paid. So there's something, I guess. Minus taxes. So that 1.75 is more like, I don't know. More like, who knows? Maybe like $500,000, $750,000. What a interesting show. I can't believe how well that edit I can't even talk. I'm so shocked. Hid how well. Whoa. What am I saying? Why is my brain not working right now? It hid the fact that this was a huge operation of like government conspiracy and vampires so well. That was actually legitimately shocking reading that. 3 novels deserve at least 3 or 4 seasons. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. That is such a fumble by Fox. And honestly, it probably should have been a movie. Because there's probably a heck of a lot of material there to work with. Umbrella Academy has 3 comic books, and they're getting 4 seasons. Yeah. Got a higher budget. Talking about the source material. Yeah, exactly. I mean, by 3 novels, if they're good novels, and you had Ridley Scott working on the freaking story. Like, it should have been good. Like, really good. And it clearly had ratings. I mean, 3 million is not something to scoff at. Maybe it is for Fox, but CW, they'd love 3 million. They would absolutely love 3 million. And the fact that it only went from like 5 to 3, that's not much of a drop off. Now, if it was like starting off at 15 million and then went to 3, you'd be like, hey, I don't know about this. But it had a pretty steady audience. This reminds me of the issue we're talking about. Reminds me of Shadow and Bone. Right. Grishaverse has like 7 books, yet we got 2 seasons. Yes, exactly. It just doesn't seem like enough. Definitely not enough. I'd like to thank everyone for hanging out today. Luke, of course. Will, hope you're having a great rest of your day. Everybody who's watching, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I shall see you all in a couple hours on Twitch. On YouTube, you'll see the second stream tomorrow on Thursday. I appreciate everyone watching. Appreciate your time. Again, programming note, I won't be here next week. Just a heads up. want to give everybody a proper notice of that. If you want to request your own videos and have it in a live stream that I react to and we all watch, go ahead and join up at toddreacts.com. Subscribe to one of the tiers that allow requesting of videos. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching on YouTube. Hit the like button if you liked it. Hit the notification bell as well if you want to get notified when these videos actually get posted. And when I go live on YouTube, that'll be certainly a good indicator. Follow the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ToddReacts if you're watching on Twitch. Join the Discord. It's now available. It's now publicly available, I should say. And check out the merch. 15% off for website members, toddreacts.com. Summer collection is coming soon. The alert always jump scares me. Thanks for the follow, Dave. Appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out. And I shall see you all soon on Twitch. I'm just going to take a couple hours break here. Obviously, I need some food. But I will be back. Take care. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I can't talk. I need to get my brain working for the second stream. By the end of this, I've read so much, I'm like overloaded, I guess. Anyway, take care. I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.